Welcome to a new edition of the D&D Morning Show. We're back at it. We've got a brand new episode for you. And today we're talking all about mood swings. In particular, mood swings during menopause. Now, Drew and I have not been through menopause ourselves.
Yet.
But we do know some things and some tips that will help you. So we're going to share those with you. And then we're going to, instead of a recipe today, we're actually going to take you through a day's worth of meals to help you reduce your mood swings. And then we'll end up with a quote. That's what we're up to today. On this edition. I'm very excited.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were done there. So, today fun fact.
Are you having a moment?
I had a moment. I was going to get into something else.
All right, we should start with the fun fact.
That's a fun fact.
We're each going to talk about each other's mood swings because I don't necessarily think mood swings are just menopause. I admit I have mood swings. Do you admit I drew daddy?
I am not denying mood swings. You know what the thing is that men don't have like
an excuse.
No, I would not say. I am not saying that. I would like to go on the record saying I am not saying that. Men don't have the opportunity to say something like.
So careful with his words.
They don't have the opportunity to say something like, "Oh, I'm going through menopause," or maybe
PMS.
Something like that. Men are just stuck with, "Oh, you're miserable today." But men also have days where they're not so happy or they're going through, like, you can call them mood swings. And I think it's fair to say that we all go through that. Men go through it, women go through that for different reasons.
Mm-hmm. And I do think that I am going to say, stand up for us women and say that it is more challenging with our hormonal changes. But at the same time, we do not have to use that as an excuse. There are things we can do to get ourselves out of the slump of the mood swings. So we kind of got into our main topic right there and didn't talk about Drew's menopause. Does that hurt your feelings when I say menopause?
I'm okay with that. I am secure in my
menopause
being.
But the key difference between us and our mood swings is a kind of like our personality traits. Drew gets really quiet and just to himself and just like, I don't know if snarky is the right word, but just short answers, not a lot of patience, but he's super quiet. Now describe me in a mood swing.
Oh man, it's like a tornado. That's the best way I can describe it. Like, nothing you say helps. Nothing, like, you can't really, like, be in the same area. It's just like everything, like, nothing is, like, going right. It's
it's like
tornado.
Maybe like comparable to a 2-year-old's tantrum.
Yeah.
Perhaps. I'm not proud of that, but I'm also not afraid to admit that does happen to me, or I do allow that to happen.
And I think it's normal. Like, I think people go through these. Just how I compared men. Like, men have their own issues and days that they need moments.
Alone time?
Need some alone time.
Needs alone time.
But for women as well, I think women are hard on themselves. Like, there's a lot of guilt around that. Like, I'm having a bad day. Like, I'm having a rough day. So just relax a bit and understand that everyone goes through them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The key thing we want to, I guess, talk about today is reducing stress, because if we reduce our stress, then we can reduce our mood swings as well. And so that's kind of what we want to get into here, is reducing our stress. So there's a few key topics we wanted to talk about and ways that we can reduce our stress. And one of them is exercise. So exercise just uplifts our mood. If we are in, for lack of a better way to say it, if we're in a crappy mood, or we're feeling a little hormonal, women, or if we're just plain sad, mad, exercising is going to make us happier. It's proven fact.
No question.
So
Exercise is the easiest way. First of all, it's the number one way to reduce stress, and it's the easiest way or quickest way to put yourself in a better mood. So that's why we put it at the top of the list. We need to exercise to change our mood.
Exactly. And I know we don't always feel like it when we're in a mood or a funk. It's like the last thing we want to do. But if we can just change our mindset to how we're going to feel and look forward to how we're going to feel after our workout, that can hopefully help us get there, right? I don't want to do it right now, but I want the effect or the aftermath of the workout, which is happiness.
That's right. Another way is nutrition.
Nutrition
is a big one. So we need to eat foods. We know what it's like. We often say, "Are you hangry?" And I do. If I don't, I think my blood sugar drops, and I get like a little bit testy,
agitated.
I need food in my system, and I think we don't realize that. Like, I understand that because I eat every couple hours. That's normal to me. But sometimes I also think it's normal for much of society to go the whole day without any food in their system.
Yeah.
So if we understand that, especially during times where we're more prone to be in not great moods, then we can understand that especially at that time, we need to put better fuel and foods in our body.
And we're talking about, healthy foods instead of, because if we are in a mood and then go eat refined sugar, that's not going to help us out. So we're talking about fueling your body with healthy foods on a consistent basis throughout the day.
And then the other one is sleep. Sleep, we know what it's like to not have any rest. Like, we know what it's like to not sleep for days or even at night. Like, we sleep quite well. I sleep like a baby most nights. And if one night something happens and I don't sleep well, then the next day is kind of all thrown off. Like, don't feel like myself. So for those, especially during times like menopause, for example, we need to understand that it's extra important to do things to improve your sleep.
Yeah, because at menopause, at that time in your life, it is more difficult for us to sleep. But we don't have to accept that. We can do things to help ourselves improve our sleep, because it just will become this vicious cycle. You're not sleeping throughout the night, so then you sleep in a little bit later, which causes you maybe to miss your workout or skip breakfast. So because you didn't sleep, and then we swing back around, we didn't eat throughout the day, and we didn't exercise throughout the day, so we're not going to sleep, right? And it just becomes this tornado triangle. Tornado triangle.
That's a new one. Becomes a tornado triangle.
Circle. I get my shapes mixed up. Just becomes this vicious tornado circle of events. So we have the power to control the outcome of these things.
Right. So what we want to express is, instead of accepting that this is happening in my life, this is just the way it is, you can do things to take action to improve your quality of life, to change your mood swings, to sleep better, to feel better, and improve your mood overall.
That's right. Instead of a recipe this week, we are going to talk about meals throughout the day to improve your mood swings. So first off is we want to have a breakfast. If you want to improve your mood swings, you cannot skip breakfast.
If you want to decrease your mood or increase your mood swings, skip breakfast.
Skip breakfast. And it can be something quick and easy, a smoothie, some oatmeal, granola. It doesn't have to be a big fancy breakfast with eggs and whatever else. It can just be something quick and easy.
And we have tons of recipes on trueformlife.com/recipes. Tons of breakfast, snacks, dinners, desserts, baking.
Everything you need.
Yeah.
What's next? After breakfast, you'll want to have a snack between breakfast and lunch to keep your metabolism going and keep you in a good mood.
Keep that energy flowing,
Yes.
Keep your metabolism going. It's important to break up your meals so you have something to look forward to at mid-morning, so you're not the blood sugar doesn't drop, and then your moods get kind of worse, and then you're back in that vicious circle. So it's very important to have that snack in the morning.
So a granola bar and a fruit is a great example of a great morning snack.
Yep. Moving on to lunch.
Lunch doesn't have to be complicated. Lunch can be leftovers from the night before. It could be a salad, a healthy sandwich, but just do not skip lunch because it's too far away from supper. So if you have breakfast and then don't eat till supper, that's how many hours, right?
Too many hours.
Too many hours. And if it'll just increase your mood swings.
That's right.
So
And
don't skip your lunch.
And that's when we deal with that afternoon crash. So the next meal we're going to have is probably around 3 o'clock. And if you don't have that meal, you're starving when it comes to dinner time. That's when we have these huge meals. And then we stuff these meals in our faces because we're starving. Then we get bloated and indigestion. So again, we go back to a vicious circle of all these events leading up to other health issues.
Yes.
So if you want to keep yourself in a good mood, keep yourself energized throughout the day, have that snack at around 3 o'clock so you can avoid that crash and then move on to dinner.
Mm-hmm. Now I know sometimes it's difficult for us to have that many meals in the day, but if we just start slow and increase on our snacks, then that will help as well.
Start out small, I think you meant.
What did I say?
Slow.
Small, slow, right?
It's the same thing, right?
To me, it's the same thing.
Just have small meals. So if it's a half an apple and a half a granola bar, have that.
Yeah.
Just so you can get your metabolism going and get some nutrients in your body.
Oh, what I meant by slow was to slowly implement new meals in,
So
go ahead. Stepping on my words.
I was just going to move forward here. So there's dinner, of course. We need to have dinner. That goes without saying. A question we often get in the evening is, should I eat in the evening? I think there's a lot of experts or research or nonsense basically around that you shouldn't eat after dinner time. We do not believe that. If you don't eat from 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the evening till you go to bed, 9 or 10, you're going to be starving. And that's when we start craving. That's when we start going to the pantry and finding unhealthy snacks. So you need to have a clean snack meal in the evening to keep things moving, rolling.
Yeah, a bedtime snack. As kids, we always have a bedtime snack. Well, at least I did before you go to bed because it's so long until breakfast. So, as adults, we need to have a snack before bed as well. The reason I think some of this research comes in is because of the choice of snack we're having. We grab the chips or the cookies or whatever, the chocolates, but we just need to make sure we're making a smart choice.
That's right.
A healthy choice.
All right, so do we have a quote to end off with?
We sure do have a quote. And it's about hormones, menopause, since it's a menopause show. And it says, "Due to the influence of my hormones, I could burst into tears or kill you in the next 5 minutes." Which is kind of funny, right? Because when our hormones take over, so to speak, you're not really sure what to feel, right? You could cry, you could be angry, you could yell, you could be sad. So it was kind of reminded me of that.
As a male, I feel like I should not comment on that quote.
Probably a good idea.
Speaking for the whole other gender. That's what I have to say about that.
They just don't understand.
I love how women can just laugh about it. It's hilarious, but when it's happening, men are like, I don't know what to do. There's nothing I can do to make this better.
There really isn't.
Men only make it worse. I think it's best to just slowly
but
get
then
away.
sometimes if they don't say anything, you don't even care.
Yeah.
Why are you not saying anything?
Can't win.
No, you really can't win.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks so much for being here for this edition of the D&D Morning Show.
We'll catch you on the next episode.
See you guys.
Bye.